Good day, and thank you for joining us in Reinventing Ourselves. My name is Marie Wolf of Wolf Core Training Academy.
And I am Sholem Cox from L.I.F.E LLC, which means living in full effect. Thank you for having us this evening. It is our awesome pleasure to be here reinventing ourselves today. And with me, I have my wonderful friend for a long time, Marie.
Yes.
You have it. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. It's so good to see you.
So good to see you too. I see that you are very cozy and ready for this evening. Yeah.
Definitely.
Oh, that's good. That's good. What's new today?
Well, I've been thinking, we and you are definitely not new to innovation. Innovation is something that we have been talking about since the first day we met. But as I look around and I see what's happened over the last 9 months with COVID and how it's really affected our economy, our industries, and people in general, it's very important, something that you and I always stated in the past in terms of making sure to stay fresh and reinventing yourself. So a lot of people, and you tell me what you think, take from what you've seen, but a lot of people have had to have buyouts in terms of leaving their jobs. A lot of people have been laid off. A lot of people have had to turn from working in an actual location to working virtually, and it's really become hard for them. Our kids are going to school from home. Some parents can't work properly with their kids at home because their kids are driving them crazy. And then you have people that still have to go out the door, but at the same time they have to find different ways of working. So the thing, in terms of reinventing, maybe we can help others kind of come up with different options and opportunities in terms of reinventing the wheel. Even though COVID's hit us in a way where it's totally changed our lives, and our lives will be changed for a long time, but maybe we can also help some people with giving them options of how to move forward from this point, and that COVID is not the end. COVID is just the beginning. It's just a different way of doing things.
Yes, it is true. In my company, the thing that they say is it is a ugly thing wrapped in a gift. How do they say? It's a ugly gift. I forgot. I really forgot what it says, but actually, it's a bad thing, but it's a blessing in the end.
Yes.
It's a blessing for all of us because we have had to transition into something totally different. And although it has been a traumatic year,
Yes.
and it has been not too good for so many people, as you were mentioning, it is actually a blessing. I'm so excited to be here with you
You
today,
too.
in
Yes.
something that it has been coming for a long time. We have been planning this, and thanks
Yes.
to COVID, here we are,
Yes.
which is a blessing to be able to help others, as you said, with our services, and not only our services, also providing the ability for them to be able to move forward and not get stuck. Because also, remember, a lot of people are losing their employment because
Yes.
of
Yes.
COVID-19.
Yes.
And like you said, people do not have to suffer because of the lack of income or resources per se in order for them to provide for their family, and protect
Yes.
themselves. Because as I know, in your company, for instance, the way you protect people is by them doing the necessary steps that they need in order for them to be ready for life's next steps, right?
That's right. Most definitely. And the thing that I love about your company is this: in the transition, we don't know. The two things are going to happen, which we talked about before. People are going to be born, and unfortunately, people are going to pass away. It's just the cycle of life. And it's a very harsh cycle to have to adhere to or to accept. But with your company, I think it's beautiful because as people are going through what they're going through, your company helps them to prepare for those steps, making sure that they can cover the insurance for the burials, things like that. You educate them on what life insurance is, and different types of life insurance, different types of protections, because unfortunately, as we know, bringing a little one into this world is expensive, but also when we depart from this world, it's also very expensive as well. So there's a high cost to both. And which, yeah, you think that, the transition would be a little better because of the fact we're leaving here, maybe they'll give us a discount, but,
I know there's no
unfortunately, they
discount.
don't. It seems like it's more expensive sometimes to leave this earth, and have the proper
Yes,
burial than walking into, taking your first breath and steps into this world. So
yes,
your company is definitely amazing.
yes, thank you. And yours, what I like from yours, and you know that very well, I've always said that, is the fact that, one of the things people lack to have is the proper documentation in place in the event of a sudden illness, or they pass away and they do not leave any will for their loved ones to take their assets. And then it becomes a contingency between them and the government. So
Yes.
what you do also, it is very important what you are able to do for people. And the good part is you offer those services at a great affordable price to them, you know and it's legal. I mean, it is completely legal what you do. I know you for so many years and I trust
Yes.
you. And I can actually say I can fully recommend your services because they are so awesome.
Thank you. And I can say the same for you. Your many years of experience, along with the customers that you have, they're all satisfied customers that recommend you. And I'm recommending you. If anyone needs to have an honest person, an honest agent, honest broker to come out to their homes, and or either right now for COVID, but to Zoom with them or to communicate with them or to call them, and that they're in need for the services that are offered by you, from the life insurance to the annuities to the burial insurance and many others that you offer that I'm not even able to get into because you offer so many of them, and you offer them also at an affordable and honest and fair rate, and you educate your clients and potential clients. And that's the most important thing, because in getting life insurance, the educational factor, most people don't offer that. They'll tell them it's at this price, it's this, you can get the life insurance. They don't tell them the difference between whole and whole life or the other. And the thing is, you do that. You give them the perfect options that fit their needs, because a lot of the elderly, they don't know the difference between term and whole. And, as you have educated many people, within our seminars and our meetings of the types, and you've really opened their eyes and you've given them the opportunity to pick what's best for them and their families.
Exactly. Thank you. Yes, that I try my very best because I like to be honest with people, because
Yes.
there's a lot of people who go around telling people that they are getting a certain particular product, and then years go by, they come to find out their insurance lapse, they are no longer covered, they can't afford it anymore because it's too expensive. So one of the greatest things is being able to offer them a benefit that they can buy at a younger age and it will last them for life through our living benefits, which allows them to use it while they are alive, and which is
Yes.
so beneficial. It's so beneficial because it's less expensive and is a full cover. It is a
Right.
full cover. So instead of having liability, I can compare it to life insurance, to car insurance. Instead of
Hmm.
having liability, we have it a full coverage for them. And that's the beautiful part. And around the holidays, very well, the holidays is the time where more tragedy happens. A
Yes.
lot of people lose their lives, their loved ones, and they are not prepared for it. They are not prepared for it. I've seen it so many times. I've seen it time and time again. The lack of preparation in regards to that, because people don't think it is important. And that's
Yeah.
where our services like yours come into place, because a lot of people, they actually do not pass away, but they become bedridden,
Yes.
and some of them can't even talk. And so when people want to find out where are the documents in order for them to either, like say, for instance, if they are in the vegetated
Vegetative
state,
state. Yeah, yeah.
yes, yes, where they, people have to make a decision whether they keep them going or, when the time comes, do not resuscitate them or anything like that. And if they don't have a living will, guess what happens? The
Yes.
hospital decides what they're going to do with them, you know?
Exactly. Well, I'll tell you, thank you for bringing that point up because I actually went through a traumatic situation earlier this year. It wasn't me per se, but it was a family member. And what most people don't understand is that even though your children still reside with you, they go to school. Some children are 18 years old while they're still in high school. Some children are in college, but most children are either still under your care. And the thing is that a family member of mine ended up being hospitalized, ambulance and hospitalized. The thing is, they were over 18 years of age. The only saving grace because of COVID, because I couldn't go into the hospital, I couldn't watch out for them. This happened during the height of COVID around like maybe, I want to say around June. June or July when things were pretty bad this year. And as a mom, I was just losing it. I'm like, okay, I can't be there. I'm being told by the doctors and nurses, I'm sorry, this person is legally an adult. Well, right now they can't speak for themselves. So what am I supposed to do? And then I recalled the thing that I made them all do when they turned 18 years of age. I created a healthcare proxy for every family member. It's important. It can be called a medical, healthcare proxy is a form basically that gives the ability of someone to be able to speak on your behalf if you're unable to speak for yourself. And a lot of times too, when you're 18 years of age, even anytime, honestly, I would say 18, between 18 and 24, and kids are in college, they're still young, they don't really know what to do. They don't know about the medications, they don't know about the treatment, they don't know anything. They're just as scared because one, they're used to their moms and dads and older, family members to be there to speak for them. But in this COVID environment, no one can be there in the hospital. So what this gave me the ability to do, which actually saved me as well as them, is that I presented it to the hospital. I gave them the opportunity to speak with me so that I could tell them what they're allergic to, what their wishes are, things of that nature. It's very important. Now, with the healthcare proxy or medical directive, it's very important to have that because it gives someone you're close to or whoever that you designate the ability to speak on your behalf in the event that these things happen. But the other portion of it is that it can also be a medical power of attorney, which a lot of elderly people have that. And it also serves as a great purpose as well because it gives you the ability for further into being able to, speak on their behalf or let the hospital know their wishes in terms of, like you mentioned, a DNR. Because sometimes in cases where people are terminally ill, they prefer not to continue to suffer. They don't want to be incubated. They want to just kind of go peacefully. So that medical power of attorney gives more authority in terms of the person's wishes, in terms of what they want to do. Because I know for a fact too, you always want to go by with someone's wishes, but when you come between a family member being here and leaving and that, that document's not available, you're going to tell them, do everything you can in your power to save them. And sometimes what we don't understand because we're not going through the terminal illnesses, that it may be more painful for them to be here than to just let them go. So that gives you the right to have the treatment that you want. And it can be, of course, the hospitals will have it on file, things like that once you submit it. But it just gives you the option to have a right to speak for yourself in what you want done. And also, if you can't speak for yourself, I would say within the younger, of us, or just in general, it doesn't have to be the younger of us, but those who may be, incapacitated and not able to speak for themselves, this gives them the opportunity to have someone that has that can speak on their, the greater behalf of them to be able to tell the hospital, exactly what they want, or just to make sure that they're okay. Because now the way that I've noticed that things can be through this COVID environment, even if you call to ask a question, if you don't have that healthcare proxy, you can ask anything. They're not going to tell you anything. You could be the parent of the actual child in my case. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because as soon as they're seen as being a legal adult, their business is their business. Their HIPAA rules and things like that and regulations that kind of cover privacy. You know, there are a lot of privacy rules. So this gives the opportunity to be able to do this. So I always tell any parent out there, not just parent, but specifically any parent out there, if you have a child or a family member that's 18 years or older, make sure you get this form done. It does not have to be through our company. It can be through anyone you choose, but it's imperative because it gives you the opportunity to make sure in the event of something happening, whether it be a car accident, whether it be COVID, God forbid, whether it be anything that may impair the young adult in terms of them not being able to speak for themselves. And most of the time, they don't want even know what to say. It gives you an opportunity to help them. So it gives you a peace of mind. It gives them a peace of mind. So that's one thing that I would definitely recommend.
Yes. And
Now,
it's lovely that you're saying that a peace of mind kind of thing. That's one of the things that I highly, highly focus on because I
yes,
love for people to have the ability to have a peace of mind financially and
yes,
be prepared.
yeah,
Although people think it is not important and they will go and do their nails in a
yeah,
heartbeat in monthly basis or buy a cologne when it comes to men or go to any show virtually, of course, right now.
yeah,
However, people is like so quick and in a hurry to use their money for any other thing but to protect themselves because first and foremost, they think they're going to be living forever. They
yes,
never foresee preparing for the future in the event that they may live a long time. They do
yes,
never see themselves having an accident, become very ill, and having to stay hospitalized or having to receive rehabilitation for their accident. Or if they pass away, they do not foresee saving money or having enough money for their family member, not to go GoFundMe, not to go putting pictures out there or asking, the family member who is more opulent per se or
right,
anything like that. Or people is not thinking that they will develop a cancer, a colon cancer, having an organ transplant or anything like that. People do not see those things. They don't see it as important at all.
no, they
None
don't.
of those things. People do not prepare. And it's so important. It's so important to prepare for that. Although it's the holidays and is so joyful, so happy go lucky and everything. These are things that are important to be prepared for, which
Yes,
is actually part of life. And it's
yes,
important to have like a reflection moment where you take a pause and you know what, do I have everything ready in the event that
yes,
something was to happen to me? What will happen to my loved ones? You know, am I protecting them? Am I leaving enough shelter for them to get by until they get on their feet because of what's going on with me? Especially if they are the only providers of the family. So, that's what I like from our partnership and
yes.
friendship that we offer how people can prepare for life's next steps
That's
that
right.
are so pivotal and important in life, even during the holidays, you know?
I agree. Now, I have a question for you, and this is probably a question that some people, that are listening to our series will ask. And that's, let's say, for example, because a lot of people have lost their jobs, but, you still have to maintain a form of protection. And unfortunately, as we look at the news every day, there's something that's happening, even in our area, in terms of where someone has to lay someone to rest. Can you move forward in speaking more about the burial insurance if someone can't afford full-fledged life insurance?
Well, if someone is interested in just burial insurance, the good part in having the burial insurance for some is the fact that it allows people to get the benefits of that policy in a matter of 24 to 48 hours. You know, they get the money immediately almost because just by presenting that policy, they just get immediately the write-off to get the funeral locked in
Yes.
without having to wait for a long time for them to be able to bury their loved ones without keeping them there for so long, because some people don't want to stay in the mortgage. I mean, don't want their loved ones to remain in the mortgage until they are able to gather that money. So it's very important also for them to have that kind of benefit. And that way, they suffer less. And the beautiful part is that, they also receive the help as to what are the necessary things to do. They will allow them
Yes.
to receive help directly from the company where they are able to provide that information for them, because at that moment when people lose a loved one, I have never had to go through that situation as of yet, thank you, Jesus. However, you know, they say that you are in the midst of chaos, practically
Yeah.
emotional chaos and physically kind of chaos, materialistically, and all kinds of chaos per se comes into place, because if you don't know exactly what is it that you have to do and you did not prepare everything, so therefore they come and they assist you and guide you, and that's the beautiful part of it, that those are the benefits that they also offer.
Oh, and
And
that's
so
amazing because at that time, it's like I can only imagine, and this is something that no one wants to imagine, but your mind is not focused or right to be able to handle anything. So with the help that they provide with with that insurance, it's amazing. And of course, in addition to that insurance, if those if people can definitely do that, I would recommend the life insurance, full-fledged life insurance along with the burial, because it's important. All those things are important to have. And as we, move forward, we always talk about, we always try to help people reinvent themselves. And this right here in itself, as we go from this portion to the last month of the year 2020, which is so hard. We're here already. Oh my goodness. Just kind of getting them to understand, reinventing their mind, I'll say reinventing their way of thinking and preparing, for things that truly matter, things that I'm sure they already have, but even so, if they haven't had a chance to prepare for it, to definitely do so, to prepare, get a portfolio, prepared, that has all the documentation necessary from their life, for their life insurance policies, their burial insurance policies, their annuities, if they want to move that, towards that direction as well, their medical directives, their power of attorneys, their trusts, their living wills, things like that. It's important to have that estate package together, and with that they can move forward into a new year, not knowing, of course, as we never know what each year will bring. And as we know that when things happen, we don't have the prior notification. We just have to try to be as prepared as possible and try to weather the storms and pray that those times don't hit us anytime soon or at all.
yes, yes, indeed, that is the truth. It is the true factor, and it's part of life. But unfortunately, we have to deal with it whether we like it or not. And that's where we are here for.
Yes.
Like for instance, me, they can actually reach me at 301-437-6642 and find me on Facebook, Sholem Cox, at Life LLC, and the website is also sholemcox.com. I'm on Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, everywhere. You can contact me anywhere. And, Marie, she can definitely tell you her information.
Yes, you can reach me at any time at 1-800-279-6384 or at consult@wolfcore.com. Or if you prefer to take a look at the products that we offer, you can also look at the website, wolf-core.com, and wolf is spelled WOLFE. So we definitely hope that the information that we have basically provided is helpful to you. And if you have any questions in terms of the services that we both offer, we are both more than willing to assist. If you can't reach us via phone, if you want to call it, pretty much reach out to us 24 hours a day. The best thing to do is to also reach out to us via email. My email again is admin@thewolfcorporation.com or consult at wolf-core.com.
And my email is my name, sholemcos.life@gmail.com. And that's it. That's my email.
Yes, and what we're going to be doing
Yes.
in the future is holding training sessions. So we're going to have some webinars that are going to be coming up. We're going to estimate. We can also put those on our site. We can also let you know during the next series. But we definitely want to provide as much information as possible in terms of the the aspects of things that you can do to prepare for life's next steps, as Shalom mentioned. So we both thank you so much for the time you've given us during this series to listen to what we have to say. And we hope to see you again soon. Goodbye for now.
Thank you for having us. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.